This is going to be a fun little quick run around on how to do lofting, the very little used, very little known about tool. So the first thing you need to do is give yourself something to loft. So you basically draw some whatevers. Draw a circle. You have to have planes and sketches. I'm gonna bring one off here. Just go up 75. Draw another whatever sketch. Let's see, let's do a square. We can even do it over here, doesn't matter. And a sketch. I've discovered that you really should go from the bottom plane or the start plane that you're going to work off of so you know the actual final height. Let's do 150 so it's even sized. And let's create a sketch. And let's create an ellipse. How's that? We'll make it all weird, even. And finish sketch. Now, you can just loft it right now. Loft. And it will go from one to the other and give you a bizarre shape. And it's very cool. Now, the other thing, well, I got this wide open, is, and I gotta actually keep it, edit feature. If you look at these little dots, you can move these dots around and it will actually edit your shape and the arcs. These are basically exterior guidelines and it changes the shape. See how it's changing it? Well, you can do it on the square too. I don't recommend it. I'll give it a shot, but sometimes it crashes Fusion out on me. And it doesn't do as much. See how it's just changing the pitch. But it's very useful with circles and stuff because sometimes you can get odd shapes that don't really pan out correctly. And you can smooth out the arc or make it even more bizarre. Okay. So the other thing you can do is go back beforehand. Let's go back one. Start a new sketch and let's go on one of the sides. What I'm going to do now is make an arc for a guide. And that will change it even more. So if we go back into our loft, edit feature, and right here we can say use a center line, and then select that center line, it'll slightly change it. It can be a good or a bad thing. You can also change it even more by taking that center line and moving it all around. Because now you can actually do it in 3 dimensions. So if I hit the move tool and I grab a point, it won't stay flat on that plane. I can actually move the plane in 3 dimensions, the guideline. So I can get an even more bizarre shape. See how it kind of twisted it all up? Working with this is really, really, I kind of think it's fun. You can do some really bizarre shapes. It's fun to just do like I'm doing right now sometimes. Now, the one issue I found with it is you can't do a hollow. What I mean by that, well, you can, but you have to do an extra step. Edit sketch. Let's say I wanted to make this a tube. So I kick this in, say, -10. And what I really want to loft is just this circle here. And do it all the way up. Edit sketch. Select all. Offset. -10. Oops. So it's got to be +10. That's another thing. I'm not sure why it Sometimes it's got to be negative or positive to go inside. It's a little odd. And the last one, edit sketch. Bring this in, 10, -10. Okay. Now if I were to try and change that loft to just the circles, it'll fail. See? But there is a way to do it. Command Z, Command Z. And that is basically to double loft it. So you lofted the first one with all the outer parts, and then you go back and you do a second loft. And what you do then, and I've discovered it's a lot easier if you get rid of the bodies. You say I want to loft from that to that to that. And now when I bring the bodies back, it will hollow it out. Now once again, I have to tell it to follow the center line. See right here? There's like a knockout. Actually, I'll leave it. Okay. See how it's knocked out? Because I didn't follow the center line. So let's edit that. Tell it to follow the center line. And poof. You have this perfect, like, weird tube thing. Pretty cool. I love lofting. It's just awesome. And you can do some really bizarre shapes with it in Fusion. And just to show you, this is how I did my air ducts. As you can see, they're a lofted duct. Duct. The Hemera. And the cool thing is if you look in here, I actually did 3 lofts. Because I did the outer shell, like I showed you. I did the hollow. And then I actually did this center line, which is an air guide. Now the other thing is see how I got this nice shape here so it conducts the air in 2 directions? I did that by doing the hollow out loft, the second loft to make it a tube, after both outer shells were lofted. So then it knocked them all out. Then I did the center line here for an air guide, or for a fin, or center line, whatever you want to call it. That gives you this nice center tubing with 2 outlets instead of 1. And supposedly it makes airflow better or whatever. I'm not a hydro or aerodynamic person, but supposedly it makes it better. But that's how I did the lofting in the my Hemera part cooling fan ducts. Ducts. Keep calling them duck, quack quack. They're duct with a T. Anyway, so that's it. Quick tip and quick overview on using lofting. It's actually very much a lot of fun.